Thank you for joining me and taking the time to subscribe and being part of 700,000 subscribers. Thank you. Big winter storm and hurricane hunters have been getting into this. I want to show you this in just a second. That moisture feed coming off the Pacific right across the Gulf into the southeast United States. That cold air, it is in place. Everything is meeting. The cold air is meeting that moisture, the rain, the snow, the sleet for many, and this front sliding closer to the Caribbean. And look how significant of a weather event this is. Now, this map's a little bit different. This is the coast of Louisiana here, coming out of New Orleans here, coming out of Mississippi and Alabama right up here. This here is the path of one of these aircraft, the hurricane hunters that usually get into developing tropical storms and hurricanes. Well, they're out there sampling the atmosphere. They were doing this yesterday and last night in the Gulf of Mexico to get a good handle on the weather conditions, and that does help out the computer models. It's not often we see hurricane hunters getting into bigger, sometimes they get into bigger winter systems, but it is not often. It shows you how significant this is. There's that moisture right there coming out of the Bay of Campeche, lifting right into parts of Mexico and Texas. That white, that is the snow. Unusual places to get such a significant snow. And this is an historic snow event for these locations. They could break all-time records with this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain. That'll be some of the highest totals either on record or since the 1890s. You see that snow right in the Houston area. Get over toward Bryan, Texas, swinging back toward Lafayette, right on the edge of New Iberia, watching over toward Alexandria, Baton Rouge, and then eventually swinging back toward New Orleans. We'll see that changeover. Some rain first, but that colder air is really mixing in. So then there'll be some sleet, which are ice pellets. There's that snow that'll be building back toward Mississippi, Alabama, right across I-10 in Florida, and then back toward Georgia, and then eventually up toward the Carolinas. So here's the front right here. Out ahead of it, the moisture will be feeding in. Spotty showers in the eastern Caribbean. We'll see that rain chance increasing right through parts of Central America, and that's all kind of feeding into the system. And then this front will be diving across the Bahamas and parts of Cuba with some chillier nights ahead. Let's start big picture, and then I'll zoom in and slow it down. Now that cold air is in place. So throughout the day, and again, I'll zoom down to these locations in just a second, that cold air meeting this moisture that's feeding in. There's that snow and that significant historic snow across parts of Louisiana in particular, and then building back toward parts of northern Florida and the western panhandle of Florida, lifting up toward the Carolinas. Spotty showers on the south side of this, and then by the time we get into tomorrow morning, Jacksonville north, right up through the Carolinas, watching the Outer Banks of North Carolina for that snow. And you can see it right in through here. The front itself draped back through South Florida, the Bahamas, reinforcing the colder air. The front right on the edge of the Cayman Islands. Still that moisture. Parts of Mexico, Belize seeing some of that rain, but there's that snow right there. Then as we go throughout the day tomorrow into Thursday, that front pushes away. You can see it moving through Bermuda, and that snow event will be sliding away. Now, watching out for some next systems as well. Now, this will reinforce some of that chillier weather back through the Bahamas. Still that moisture feed in place. So looking ahead, we're still going to see this rain kind of lifting from Central America, pulling up toward the north. This here is just kind of looking at in time, and then you can see some of that rain back toward parts of Belize, Yucatan Peninsula, close to the Cayman Islands, and then pulling back toward the Bahamas again. This is by the time we get into Friday. Then looking ahead to the next system, this next one should be a little bit more to the north. You see it diving across the United States and then up toward the northeast United States, with rain and snow potential as we get into the upcoming weekend and early next week. So here's that next system on the heels, always trying to look ahead to show you kind of what's coming down the road. Now here's the closer look, and I want to get to some of the snow totals. So this is later this morning. There's the snow really building into Louisiana, still near the Houston area, parts of Mexico, northeast Mexico, where we were dealing with several tropical systems this past hurricane season, now dealing with some snow and some sleet, especially across the higher terrain, curling back throughout parts of Texas, Louisiana. And then you see as we go through the day today, this is 1 o'clock, starting to stretch into Georgia, parts of Alabama, Mississippi, right through New Orleans, seeing that snow, and then that snow across I-10 in parts of Florida. Is this snow going to get into the Bahamas? It is not likely. In the 1970s, we had some snow flurries in parts of the Bahamas, but you can see that snow still, by the time we get into this evening, just trying to exit Louisiana, but even more so North Florida and the Panhandle of Florida, and then diving up toward the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina, dealing with some snow, especially eastern sections eventually. As we work our way into tonight, you can see how this progresses by 10 o'clock. Near Jacksonville, we can see that changeover from rain to sleet and even some snow trying to mix in. And there's that snow as we get into the coastal sections of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Over towards Sea Island, could be dealing with some of that snow back toward the Savannah area as well. And then by tomorrow morning, most of this action pushes off. Just on the backside, there could be a little bit of sleet trying to sneak into more parts of Florida, and then this system starts to work away. But you can see that front, and you see right across the northern Bahamas the chance of rain, but not really seeing that chance of snow, although it's been kind of that close call with that. Now, as far as the snow totals go, yeah, these are historic levels of snow for these locations, from Houston, right where this green shading is, swinging back toward Louisiana, and then all the way up through the Carolinas. That's where there's going to be at least close to some record snow. The record potential is really going to be parts of Mississippi and Louisiana, where we could see upwards of 6 inches of rain. Highest snow totals, I believe, recorded in parts of Florida, 4 inches, and we could make a run at that in parts of the western panhandle of Florida, right in through here. This white shading, this is just the mapping doing some funky stuff. The cutoff would be really kind of near Jacksonville for that significant snow right through here. This is where we could get over 2 inches of rain, or snow rather, some spots pushing 4, 5, even 6 inches of snow in parts of southern Louisiana. That is plowable snow, no doubt. That is very, very significant stuff for these locations. That snow getting close to the tropics, very unusual. And here's one of the reasons why, of course, one of the big reasons why there's that Arctic air in place. Look how far south it's gotten. The cold air in place elsewhere, and then that moisture just pumping in right into the cold air. Not quite the Arctic air, but it is surely cold enough to see that snow and that sleet in some very unusual places. And then pulling forward into tomorrow morning, as we work our way into Wednesday morning, you see that tongue right there of some of that Arctic air that has plunged down. All that cold air still in place, and that moisture just feeding in. And look at that cold air diving all the way down toward parts of Guatemala, but there's that Arctic air as well. And we have that moisture going right on top of some of this cold air, right into this cold air, and that's why we're seeing that southern snow. So here's that moisture today, and look at that, parts of Mexico seeing some of the wintry weather, seeing some of that snow, some of that sleet. Spotty showers will be possible today in Antigua, Barbuda, back toward Barbados and St. Lucia. Now, as far as this front, as significant as it is, I'm not seeing it dive super far down to the south, right? So we will get some chillier nights in our northern sections, but elsewhere, kind of what we've been dealing with that flow coming out of the east, hit or miss showers, and still that better chance of rain, Honduras and Belize as we go through the day tomorrow, especially in Honduras, 50-60% chance of rain. And we do that again as we work our way into Thursday. You see some of these pockets of showers, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Vincent the Grenadines, we may get a few, and then watching out for some of the rain building back toward Mexico and just the tail end of the front that will be moving back through the Bahamas. So here's that snow right in through here. You can watch it here. Atlantic region of Canada, getting back toward Quebec, the cold air in place. Lake effect snow over toward the Great Lakes. Here's that snow that continues to work in. But instead of really lifting up towards, say, New England, a lot of this pulls offshore, so over toward Bermuda, that chance of that cold rain. Eventually down the road by the weekend, it looks like we'll have more of a system lifting up toward the northeast United States and the Atlantic region of Canada. Then by tomorrow, you see some of the snow close to Newfoundland, but a lot of this just offshore of Nova Scotia. But it does reinforce that colder air as this front passes by. That cold air in place, still watching out for some of those showers as we work our way back through Bermuda, and some of that lake effect snow that will once again be possible throughout much of the week. Seas have really increased, no doubt. Look how high they are. We're talking over 4 meters. So we're pushing 10 plus feet in spots. Meters here, feet on the right hand side of your screen with this front moving by, this winter storm system. Very rough conditions in the Gulf of Mexico. This is tomorrow. This here is into Thursday. Choppy in the Caribbean and the Atlantic waters. And then as we work our way into the weekend, just looking ahead, we're going to see rough conditions right near Bermuda with these systems pulling offshore. The Atlantic waters, the Atlantic passageways in the Eastern Caribbean are going to be rocky. The Atlantic waters are no doubt elevated. Now, as far as the rain goes, I mentioned the snow, but we could get clipped by a few showers, Freeport back through New Providence, but a lot of the blues on the map. So the rain totals, if we do get a shower in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, that rain chance not high, so the totals would not be very high. We may get brushed by 10, maybe 25 millimeters of rain, which would be an inch of rain swinging back through Puerto Rico, but a little bit more from Dominica, Martinique, back through Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad, we're going to see a better chance of rain as we go over the next couple of weeks. We're going to see a flow kind of coming in off of the Atlantic that could give us a better chance of rain. We may get a few spots around 50 millimeters of rain or 2 inches. Same thing, northern Guyana into Suriname. I'll show you Suriname in just a second. That rain chance picks up, and we could get a few spots of 50 millimeters of rain. Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, over toward Costa Rica in the next couple days with that moisture pumping up. But this here, again, this moisture in here is changing over to snow in a lot of areas. So you see that rain chance is not high today. Tomorrow, about a 30% chance of a shower for us in Jamaica and Cayman Islands. Our rain chance is not too high. The front mainly just to the north, about a 20% chance of a shower. With Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to be a little unsettled. We'll look at about a 40% chance of some spotty showers. A little higher today, though, in Barbados, 50% chance, 40% chance for tomorrow. Very isolated. St. Lucia, 30% chance as we go over the next couple of days. 30% as well in Grenada. So St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent the Grenadines, some passing showers. Let me know in the comments, 40% chance today. Martinique, a 40% chance today. And then as we work our way back through Dominica, you see as the week goes on, the rain chance bounces up to about a 50% chance on Thursday. 30% chance the next couple of days in Guadeloupe, 40% chance on Thursday, and a few passing showers possible today. 30-40% chance Antigua and Barbuda. St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, 30 to 40% chance the next few days. Anguilla and St. Barth, same thing, 40% chance for today. Running at that 30% chance, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, so it will be isolated. Puerto Rico, 30% chance of a shower today, 20% chance tomorrow. It's not high, and we could get a few passing showers, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Northern Bahamas, that's where we have that better chance of rain. Mainly dry to the south. Turks and Caicos, rain chance holding at a minimal 20%, 20 to 30% chance through the Dominican Republic. Haiti, though, still generally dry conditions. Can't rule out a stray sprinkle, but in Belize, rain chance has picked up. Scattered showers, Ladyville, Hopkins, Belize City. We'll see some scattered showers the next few days. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, about a 20 to 30% chance of that passing shower. And then as we go throughout the week, you see the rain chance by Thursday bumping up in Guyana, and then you see it tomorrow and Suriname, a higher chance of rain, giving you the heads up. That rain chance making a comeback. Western end of Cuba, better chance of a couple showers with that front passing by. Costa Rica and Panama, the rain chance gradually bumping up, a 50% chance on Thursday. And you see the scattered rain that will be around, especially tomorrow and Thursday in Nicaragua. And there's that rain chance higher in Honduras, including the islands. You get over toward Roatan, about a 60% chance of rain tomorrow. Guatemala and El Salvador, 20 to 30% chance. Mainly dry right across Mexico City with most of the moisture to the east. Yucatan Peninsula, though, that chance of some scattered showers with that front moving by. Northern Colombia, we're mainly dry. About a 20% chance of rain northern Venezuela, and just those batches of rain possible. Higher seas, some gusty winds, a cold rain at times with Bermuda with these systems that will be moving in. So the snow in very unusual places. That cold air is plunged down to the south, tracking just how far south that gets. And then I'll be tracking those next winter systems, as this winter is definitely more active than some other winters we've had. So I'm going to start to look ahead as well as we go throughout the week. So thank you for taking the time to subscribe. I hope you have a great day ahead.